And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in the Long Dark on Interloper. It sounds like we still have a blizzard out there, honestly. Probably means we do.
Getting kind of thirsty.
Well, let's go ahead and make it back out to the cave. We are fully recovered of our fatigue, and we know there's meat out there to eat. Yeah, that's still a blizzard. Now, this is a warmer blizzard than the one I think we ran into last night. Before we attempt to resume the search for the missing deer, we do need the blizzard to pass. Hopefully the deer carcass has survived the blizzard. And it should have. It's got an arrow stuck in it, so... yeah, we'll have a little bit of a fun time trying to find it. And it would basically be impossible to find it during the blizzard without taking a bunch of damage. Because I'm pretty sure the crows are not going to be out crowing in the blizzard.
So cold.
Are we actually not warm back here? We're not warm back here. Well, not warm back here when I'm not in something. Okay, there goes the blizzard. We're not much warmer out here now, but we are still warm. Do we want to warm up a bit more, or do we want to go looking? I want to go looking. It's still surprisingly cold, given that it's, well, it is surprisingly early in the morning as well. We didn't sleep for all that long.
Damn. I'm freezing.
So the goal is to find the deer carcass. We may not immediately harvest the deer when we find it, because the weather is cold, but we want to find it. Step 1, find it. Step 2, get weather appropriate to harvest it. There it is. There's our arrow. And there's the frozen deer. We're sitting at minus 28. Ugh. Okay, we're gonna go back to the cave. We know where it is now. This is too cold to try. The weather hopefully will improve as the day passes. And at least in the meantime, we've retrieved the arrow. So if something goes screwy and we lose the carcass, then we've just lost the carcass. We haven't lost our arrow. And it's definitely warmed up quite a bit. We're now warm in the cave. Yeah, we'll sleep for an hour. That'll get us all the way warm. And then hopefully the weather will have improved enough. Sounds like the wind's gone down. That will have helped a lot. 15 degrees before we leave the cave. And it's still cold. It's arguably still before noon, but this is much more manageable. Sprinting a bit because we're getting a little bit of headwind. So trying to spin through the bits where we're not without wind shelter. A good time. Okay. So that, let's see. Fire should be going. How cold are we with a 1 degree fire? Minus 11, or minus 19. So we are going to want to lop on a piece of coal. Use a piece of emergency coal to get the temperature up a bit. I think it'll take us about 2 hours. Let's toss a couple of sticks on there to get us a little bit of excess of 2 hours.
Cold is making my head feel thick.
Oh, I should get some pots on the fire. Get like a liter of water going, I think. Give us 42 minutes or so to harvest all the meat. That's about right.
Something's gotta go.
This is, due to the in-game effects, not necessarily the best place to be cooking, but we can work with it. Pros are now telling us where our carcass is, after we already know. Quickly get the guts off of it. Okay, so the carcass is harvested. There's usually only, at a given time, 2 deer out here. So that's all the deer we can harvest from the area. There's definitely more rabbits, though. We could do some rabbit hunting. Not quite worth it to sharpen yet. We'll take what's left of the fire with us and in the form of torches. And yeah, at this point, this is a fully harvested carcass. Nothing left to harvest. I'm going to begin my slow trip out to... Oh, we have some fur firewood here. This is from when we were doing stuff down in... Bleak Inlet? Yeah, Bleak Inlet. We left a resupply cache up there for mapping. Guess we're coming back absolutely low on stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna begin the trip out to Coastal Highway to deliver some of the trade stuff. Might try to hunt some rabbits on the way. Yeah, very much engaging in a slow and steady wins the race approach here. We are trying to recover from completing Tale 2 in the last one. Really, recovery at this point is my rabbit skin gloves are still pretty worn out. Well, most of everything else is mostly repaired. Some of the stuff that can be repaired with cloth is getting close to wanting another round of repairs. Oops. I will pick those up in a moment. Just trying to leave the meat out here. Oh, I thought we were not in the warm part of the cave. Maybe there's multiple degrees in this cave. A little less close to the rock blaze. And that'll make a good place to drop the deer hide. Oh, we're a little low on sticks. We're gonna start a fire here. We're gonna throw all the sticks in the fire. And then we're gonna try to hunt the local 2 rabbits. There should be 2 rabbits here.
Come on. Come on.
And to be fair, while hunting the rabbits, we'll try to find some more sticks. Bring a little bit more warmth in that fire. A little bit more time in that fire. There's one. Shot long. Got a little too close, and I'm apparently a little bit used to shooting them at longer range with the stones. The tall grass here doesn't necessarily make this the easiest place to hunt rabbits. It's just the safest. Well, one of the safe places. There's the rabbit. There's also likely a second one around here. Oh, I suppose the other thing I'm looking for is try to retrieve the stone that went wrong. Stones... I'm actually not sure if stones are renewable. There's a lot of stones. They're not renewable. They're just kind of everywhere. There's the second one. Long grass here not necessarily being the greatest for giving missed shots. Ah. Long and left. My last stone, was it? I retrieve a stone before we can grab it. There's one. Okay, stone went over there.
I wonder if I can drop any of this
On
gear.
Stalker, there's usually a few more rabbits in areas like this. You'd probably be able to find 3 or 4 here instead of the 2. If you're wondering why I'm carrying around 3 stones, that's why. I'm used to carrying around more stones to deal with more rabbits. Find my stone throwing habits on Stalker instead of Interloper. Interloper, the rabbits don't quite provide enough meat to sustain a character, so other than the odd one taken to repair stuff. Early on, I'm generally not killing rabbits in Interloper. Oops, I'm gonna queue up the meat to harvest first. Okay, so now we have 3 bits of rabbit meat. Which, yeah, so you can imagine if you're trying to get everything off the rabbit is early game when you don't have cooking 5 is probably not enough calories to recoup the calorie cost of harvesting everything. And you don't need to hunker over the fire as much as I do. I'm doing a little bit of moving around between, because the cooking spots here are actually in the warmth in the cave. So what I keep doing is I keep wandering back out to where it's colder to make the fire last longer. You don't need to do that if you are not trying to preserve the fuel. In my case, I'm trying to sort of vaguely save the ignition. I don't need to. I'm just being overly conservative. But that's why I'm wandering in and out of the warm portion of the cave. Let's get a couple pots of water going while we're doing this last bit of harvesting. And we should have enough time if I'm in, well, if I'm in the warm part of the cave, we probably still have enough time, but we'll have enough time if I'm in the cold part of the cave. Because when I'm in the cold part of the cave, I'm still close enough to the fire to get the warmth bonus. Whereas if I'm in the warm part of the cave, we're so warm that we're actually making the fire last less in comparison to the cold part. So technically it's the cold part making us more, but it's
getting dark out here. Time to look for shelter.
okay, so let's head into Coastal Highway. I'm gonna leave some water here because we don't need 4 liters of water on us for the trip. Let's see if we can get both the torches out. No. Could hypothetically toss another stick in there, but no, we're just gonna light the torch off the fire. Call it a day. And I am going to take the last piece of rabbit meat with us. We'll probably eat most of it when we pass into Coastal Highway. So we don't have it smelling us up. And as much as he's saying, oh, we need to find shelter, because night's approaching, arguably, for us, early night is, assuming it's good wind weather, good traveling weather, is appropriately temperatured for traveling. We want to find shelter before it hits, like, midnight, or at least be on the way to shelter by midnight. And in our fatigue state, even if we found shelter right now, we wouldn't be able to sleep through the night. Then we'd be traveling the worst bit of the night, and we kind of want to avoid that. So that's why we're traveling now. Okay, let's swap torches. In this case, I technically don't need the Olympic torch. I've got enough matches, and, well, the plan is to trade for even more. So I shouldn't be worried about running out of matches anytime soon. But I suppose technically the torch is keeping us like 2 degrees warmer. It's not nothing. Especially when you're so close to being warm. Makes a big difference when you're so close to being warm. That's kind of the interesting thing when you're dealing with rates of decay. Small amounts make very, very big difference when you're very close to zero, and very little difference when you're very far away from zero. Do a quick check, make sure I don't have auto walk on, so we don't auto walk ourselves to our doom. Before we walk too far, let's do the torch swap. I think technically the temperature bonus from torches does stack, though obviously that means you can't carry them. If you're really interested in trying to get warm from torches, I think if you just light dozens of torches and sit next to them all, it's usually a little bit better to just start a fire, but do it with torches if you're desperate. Usually not that sort of desperate. Is that all the fresh rabbit? No, not quite. So I suppose the question here is, do I want to go down? Yeah, we'll go down the coastline first. We've got decently good weather here, so we'll follow the river down. Which way do we want to travel through Coastal Highway? I want to get to the traders. The question is, did I want to stop over at the garage first? I think the answer is no. We are going to want to stop there eventually, either to repair our arrows or to swap to new ones. We got a stockpile of arrows at the garage. And we have the tools for repairing our crampons. We're not currently wearing the crampons. Currently we have the tool belt on instead. I might leave the tool belt on display and swap back to the crampons. Tool belt makes our tools weigh less. Whereas the crampon helps for climbing and doing stuff on thin ice. And has a little bit better production value, so if you're getting into struggles, the crampon's a little bit better in struggle. Tool belt, after all, is not made of metal and isn't going to really protect you from a wolf trying to gnaw your leg off, or your foot off. Whereas the bit of metal on your shoe is probably going to protect your foot a little bit better than just the shoe. Okay, we'll eat the rest of that rabbit. Drink some water. And on our way. So if we were hungry, there should be... should just about to come across it. A meat pal from where we stole a deer from a wolf. We technically took the wolf at the same time, so we stole the wolf and the deer together. And if we keep going this way, we should come across... I'm not going to go out of the way in case We don't see it, but there should be a pile of meat from a bear kill down here. Gotta be a little bit careful here that I don't get lost in the fog. I feel like I'm already going the wrong way in the fog. There's the road. Yeah, let's change torches. I'm not gonna go ahead and chase the wolf off. We can duck into one of the nearby cabins to lose it. Which will be functionally the same as chasing it off.
I need to find some place to escape this cold.
I knew that coal pile was there as well, so I took the detour to grab some coal. Back in here for a moment. Oh, this is where I left the bear hide. Do I want to use it? Yes. That will allow us to repair this bear coat. That's a whole degree or so more worth. We're not going to use it right now. But we will use it. Why do I still smell? Forgot to leave the rabbit guts behind. And the rabbit hides. So we're going to leave some rabbit hides here. That's probably where we attracted the wolf, honestly. Okay, so in 3 days we can come back there to repair our gloves. That is the bit we're missing for the glove repair. Is the rabbit hides. And the guts won't be cured in that amount of time, but there's also the 8 more bear guts, which will work just as well as the rabbit ones. And those are cured. Up and over the breakwater here. Do a little bit of beachcombing here, between here and Jackrabbit. Not super appreciative of...
Can't feel my hands.
Oh yeah, definitely not appreciative of the fog. I was going to do beachcombing, but I'm actually having trouble trying to find the ocean's edge. So I think I'm going to just give up and just come straight along the island chain here. Seems like seeing one from the next at least. The fog. So this is jackrabbits. If we see a... there it goes telling us it is Jackrabbit Island. Yep, I'm not lost. I know exactly where I am. If we see a limb to harvest, I may take a moment to stop and warm up by harvesting the limb. There is a limb. Be out, gonna back out in a moment. I'm gonna take a hop in the cabin here. See if we have any unused rabbit hides. I think the answer is no, because I think the trade... Well, we might have one in Misanthrope. We might have a surplus one from gathering them, but doesn't appear to be any in here right now. Plenty of guts from when we harvested them, because the last trade we did required some rabbit skin. Well, I think it required hides? Don't remember if it was actually required to be rabbit. We did rabbit because it had to be cured hides, and rabbits cure the fastest. I don't remember if it had to specifically be rabbits or not, but the rabbits were applicable, and they're the things that cure the fastest.
That did it.
We happen to have a stick underneath the... Yeah, pick that up. We want like an hour of fuel, so I'm just gonna take a whole piece of coal in it.
So cold.
That will definitely get us warm.
Just want to lay down for a bit.
And we'll make some mortar while we're here. And we'll harvest the fur limb. Somewhat surprised that didn't actually get us warm in an hour, but...
I need to drop something.
I probably have enough for repair time. Hour 30? Yeah. Do this next to this fire. The fire should last more than an hour because of the cold. And there we go. 2 basically fully repaired bear coats.
I feel so tired.
The answer to why he feels so tired is because he is. Been there. I've done that. You feel tired when you're tired. Yeah, this is the part of the day where it starts to get real cold. So we're going to go ahead and do a inventory drop-off at the trade site. And then we'll go up into Misanthrope's cabin and make that the end of the episode. This will be a little bit longer than the last couple. Just because I want to get the components in for the trade. Otherwise we could duck into Jackrabbits here and end it on time, but we'll have that go a little long. So, paranoid about howling out here after getting jumped one time by timber wolves. Before the wildlife refresh, there was only normal wolves out here. With a torch like this, we'd be completely fine against normal wolves. Timber wolves are a little bit different of a beast. With a pack, they'll come up and nip you, even if you have a torch out. You have to stop and make a campfire and all that stuff. I haven't seen them this close to the coast. And we'd be fair, I've only seen them once, but once is enough to be paranoid about running into them. And worse, it was, we were hunkered down in one of the fishing cabins after getting lost in the blizzard. One of the fishing huts while after getting lost in a blizzard. So we pop out of the cabin, faced first into the Timberwolf group. So part of the reason it was annoying was I was not prepared, fuel-wise, to be dealing with Timberwolves. So the problem was actually more fuel-related necessarily than not being mentally prepared for them as well. Kind of like, I have survived the blizzard. Oh dear, there's Timberwolves. It's kind of the 1-2 punch there. But yeah, I think the Timberwolf packs can spawn on the ice. But they're pretty rare on Interloper. I've heard they're a lot more common on Stalker, though. I have not played Stalker since the wildlife refresh, so I don't know 100% for sure. And I definitely don't know where all the places they spawn are. On Interloper, they reliably spawn in Weak Inlet and certain parts of Black Rock. But yeah, those are the 2 places I've run into them. Well, actually, I haven't been to Black Rock since the wildlife refresh, so supposedly less common there after the refresh. No, in comparison to Stalker, where they'd always be up, the less common might just be that you're not always running into them. Okay, we've arrived at the trade box. You want the fur firewood, so we'll give you the 3 pieces for firewood. You wanted the any harvestables. Do I give him the birch bark? Maybe. Definitely gonna give him some rose hips. Yeah. Give him one of the mushrooms. Then the rest is going to be birch bark. There we go. That's that trade. Drop off water, but we'll hold on to that for the moment. And that's the 4 things we got. Okay. Oop. Turns into a blizzard just as we want to go take a 10-ish hour snooze, so that's could be worse timing. Hopefully the blizzard is gone in the morning when I'm going to be trying to find food. I do have some cattails if we're desperate. At least I think I have some cattails if we're desperate. Okay, this is after we sleep here is where I'm going to head to put a part break in for YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, feel free to hang around. I'm going to take a short break just to sip a little bit of tea between parts here. Okay. With that, this is where we're going to put the part break in. It's a nice save here. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you can expect it to be part up tomorrow. If you're watching on Twitch, I'll be right back with recording the next part after taking a short break. Till then, wish you all the best of luck and a good time. Catch you all in the next part, and bye for now.